The next morning, Omalicha woke before the sun. Her muscles ached from kneeling by the fire in the stone circle, and her mind was still heavy with the memory of the shadow shapes circling her. But she could not linger in fear. She had promised the spirits to honor the village, and her curiosity demanded answers. The villagers whispered about her increasingly. Some avoided her entirely, fearing that she had been marked by the spirits. Others, especially the young children, looked at her with wide eyes, as if she had become a legend overnight. Omalicha ignored them all and focused on her next steps, understanding the spirits and learning to walk safely between curiosity and respect. That evening, Mama Norma came to her, her face grave. "Omalicha, the spirits are not yet done with you. They are patient, but they will test you in ways you do not expect. You must prepare." "How do I prepare, Mama?" Omalicha asked, anxiety and determination mingling in her voice. "By learning," her grandmother replied. "By listening. By knowing the forest, the paths, the hidden dangers. And above all, by remembering that some roles are older than any question." That night, Omalicha went to the edge of the forest carrying only a small bundle of food and water. The moon hung high, slower and cold. She stepped carefully into the shadows, feeling the earth thicken around her. Every snapping twig made her heart leap. Deep in the forest, she reached a clearing she had never seen before. The ground was littered with strange stones and glowing mushrooms that pulsed faintly. In the center, a tall figure appeared, its face hidden under a hood. "You return, Omalicha," it said, voice deep and hollow. "You survived the first trial, but tonight, the test is not of courage alone. You must face the truth you fear most." Omalicha's throat went dry. "What truth?" she whispered. The figure raised its hand, and the shadow around the clearing began to twist and wreath, forming shapes of her worst fears: fire, falling trees, the cries of villagers, her own grandmother in danger. Her legs trembled. Her mind screamed for her to run. But she remembered the promise she had made in the stone circle, to honor the spirit and protect the village. She took a deep breath and stepped forward, her voice steady despite the shaking in her hands. "I will face whatever comes. I will not let fear guide me." The shadows surged, circling her, whispering her name, trying to make her doubt herself. Yet, Omalicha stayed firm, repeating prayers taught by her grandmother, and pouring respect into each word. Slowly, the shadows began to fade. The hooded figure nodded once, silently acknowledging her resolve. "You have done well, child," the figure said. "But understand this: curiosity is fire. It illuminates the path, but it can burn. Every step you take must balance wisdom, courage, and respect. Fail in any, and the consequences will reach beyond you." Omalicha nodded. "I understand. I will not fail again." The figure vanished, leaving only the faint glow of mushrooms to light her path. Omalicha felt both exhaustion and triumph. She had survived her second trial and learned that bravery alone was not enough. Wisdom, respect, and careful observation were equally powerful. As she walked home under the rising sun, the village staring awake behind her, Omalicha realized that her life had changed forever. She had seen the spirits, faced fear, and survived tests that few could endure. But she also knew that the forest had more secrets, more dangers, and the journey was far from over. The whispers of the spirits lingered in her mind. Curiosity is a flame. Balance it or it will consume you. And Omalicha, with her sharp mind, fierce courage, and growing wisdom, was determined to walk that path, no matter how dark it became. Days passed after her second trial, but the forest shadow never left Omalicha's mind. Even the brightest sun could not erase the memory of the whispering voices, the glowing mushrooms, or the hooded figure who had warned her about curiosity. She knew that surviving once or twice was not enough. the spirit would test her again. So one evening, as the village settled into quiet and smoke curled from cooking fires, Omalicha heard a faint knocking at her door. She opened it cautiously. A small boy, no more than 10, stood there trembling. His eyes were wide with fear. "Omalicha," he whispered. "My father. He went into the forest to hunt and he has not returned. Something is keeping him there. Please help." Omalicha felt a chill run down her spine. The forest that had tested her courage now held a villager captive. She glanced towards the horizon, where the last light of the sun faded, and then back at the boy. "Take me to him," she said firmly. She packed a small bundle, kola nuts, palm oil, and a small knife her grandmother had given her for protection. The boy led her to the forest edge, pointing towards a dense part of the woods where shadows seemed darker than the rest. The deeper they went, the thicker the trees became. The wind whispered strange words and shapes moved in the corners of her eyes. She remembered the hooded figure's warning. "Curiosity is a flame. Balance it, or it will consume you." She whispered a prayer and pressed forward, trusting her courage and wisdom. After a while, they reached a small clearing. There, a faint glow came from the base of an enormous tree. Omalicha could see the hunter. He was trapped in some kind of spectral barrier, invisible to the boy until Omalicha stepped closer. Shadows swirled around him like living ropes. The spirit whispers filled the clearing. "Child of the village, prove your balance. Save the life or falter and fear will claim you." Omalicha's heart pounded. She took a deep breath and stepped closer. "I am not afraid," she said aloud. "I respect you, but I will not let harm come to my people." She knelt and poured kola nuts and palm oil onto the ground, repeating prayers her grandmother had taught her. Then she touched the hunter's shoulder gently. The shadows surged at her, cold and threatening, trying to push her away. She stood firm, holding the hunter's hand, and whispered, "I will walk carefully. I will honor your rules. Release him to me." For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the shadows dissolved like smoke in the wind. The barrier vanished. The hunter gasped and fell to the ground, alive but trembling. Omalicha helped him to his feet. "Thank you," he said, still shaking. "I do not understand. What was that?" "It is the forest and the spirits," she replied quietly. "They test courage, respect, and wisdom. Today, you were lucky."